from Texas and presidential candidate Ron Paul, host of the Ron Paul Liberty Report. He joins me right now from Texas. And Congressman Paul, it's always good to see you. I'm talking to you there in Texas as opposed to here. Why aren't you here?
I didn't get my invitation. I was waiting for Donald to call me, and he never called. And I don't get to give a speech. I didn't get to give one 4 years ago, and it looks like I'm not going to get to give one this year either.
So, had you been invited as a speaker, you would have been here?
No, obviously not. I wouldn't expect to be there. And if they wanted me to give a speech, they'd have to write it for me, and they might get the words mixed up. So, no, I don't think it would work out. You know, there were conditions 4 years ago that if I did ABC, they'd give me a speech, but they weren't the kind of things that I was interested in. I was interested in long-term approaches to our problems and not short-term political solutions. Yeah.
Well, you know, we keep talking about, you know, you get two stark contrasts in front of you, right? You get Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. Would you, in your, you know, sort of opposition to Trump, be willing to see Hillary Clinton in the White House?
No, I don't like either one, and they're both authoritarians, and that's the opposite of a libertarian. So they're so far removed from protecting civil liberties and changing the foreign policy and having an economic policy where we actually talk about reining in the Fed or getting rid of the Fed. I mean, that's not even on the drawing board. They're not talking about that. So they're both...
No, but you know, he probably more than some politicians understands that. I mean, we were just talking to Carl Icahn. I had Carl Icahn on the program last night, and Carl was talking about the challenges that everyday Americans face, in part because of the Federal Reserve, and they've left interest rates this low for so long, thereby leading to this income inequality that everybody's so upset about. I would bet Donald Trump, as a businessman, probably has some understanding of that, at least from his conversations with Carl.
Well, I think he does have an understanding, and I think he's mentioned that this would be a bad time to raise interest rates or let the market determine the interest rates, and he fully understands how he did well when the interest rates were artificially low. Remember, Greenspan kept the interest rates too low, too long. Well, some people keep building buildings when it's artificially low. So he understands that.
So can you give him a little credit on the economy? You give him a little credit on the economy, on the economic issue.
I give him a little credit, but I don't give him a lot of credit for massive protectionist measures and tariffs, because I think that might undo some of the benefits that he might provide for us.
All right. Well, what would it take for him to get you on board, Congressman?
Become a libertarian and take the oath, and we all have to sign something when we become a true libertarian. And the oath says we will never initiate aggression against anybody else, and we apply that to the government too. And initiating aggression means you can't use force to tell people how to live, how to spend their money, and you never use it to tell other countries what to do and how to run their affairs and get involved in their internal affairs. So I'm not quite sure he's ready for the oath, but I would offer it to him, and I think it's important. Can you imagine how peaceful
I don't think he'd take it. I think he's perhaps, I think he's more of a hawk than that. Anyway, Congressman Paul, wonderful to see you, sir, as always. Thank you.